Welcome to Nerds, Geeks, in the Kitchen Sink. It's the podcast that's like hanging out at the video store with two tired guys,
Exhausted.
exhausted little guys. What is going on? I'm one of your hosts, DK.
I'm Chris, your other host.
Improve if you feel like it. I don't know if I need to improve. I think I need to snooze.
Caffeine is
Yeah,
is is a good thing right now.
something. Chris, how the hell are you? What is up?
I mean, other than tired, ready for summer to start.
You
Um,
got big summer plans?
we're going to Florida again, so
You
little
devil,
little,
you.
little beach rendezvous coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is that soon?
no, not till the end of June.
That's pretty soon.
I guess so.
That's soonish.
But had to get up bright and early today and drive about 3 hours, pick up Isabella from college and bring her home. So,
Yep, you've had a long one.
yes.
I had a long day at work. Let's not dwell on it. Let's go to the
No,
fun stuff.
yes.
Chris, what have you been watching, playing, reading, absorbing?
Let's see. We're gonna talk about all of it, but I did watch all the way until the finale of Andor.
By finale, you
So,
mean the last three episodes.
yes.
The
Because they
finale
come out in
bunch.
threes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Just so we're clear for everyone.
Right. So I've watched up to the end of that. We saw Thunderbolts. I did see The Accountant too.
Oh,
So
you mentioned you were going to, so cool.
yes. And honestly, that's about it. Because I've been going back and forth to Columbia the last 2 weeks to
Yep.
pick up furniture and everything else. So
It's a bit of a hike.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah, for me, I've been listening to the new Ghost record quite a bit, which I did talk about on my other show,
right.
DK and Dan Like Bands. If you want to hear about it, it's over there. I don't need to bog us down with all that, but if you want to hear that conversation, it was a lot of fun. I think that record is pretty cool. If you like Ghost, check that out. Um, I so we were you and I, Chris, were recently on another show,
Yes.
Dead Formats.
Which was very fun.
It was super good. We got to watch Cyber Ninja, which we recommend everyone check out that
Absolutely.
show. Um, just yeah, keep your eyes on that show because it's really fun. I love that show. There's been some really good episodes already, and there's some
Right.
fun ones coming where maybe I might be coming back on. Maybe we'll
Awesome.
see.
Awesome.
Might be soon. I'm not sure. But so anyway, we were on that show, and there was a ninja quiz.
Yes.
And if you'll recall, I stupidly got the name wrong of the three ninjas. The third, is it the third one? I see. I'm already forgetting it.
Yeah.
It's the one where they go to the amusement park,
Yes.
whatever the hell it's called. I've already forgotten.
Yeah. Was
But I
it
also
kick back or something?
no, that's the second one, I think.
Okay.
Three ninjas kick back, and then three ninjas something at Mystery Mountain or
Yeah, something
Mega
like that.
Mountain, Mega
Mega Mount,
Mountain.
maybe.
I don't remember. Hmm. But the other question I got wrong that haunted me was
Mhm.
that I had not seen Ninja 3: The Domination.
Oh,
Now, this is a movie that had been recommended to me for a long time.
right.
Everyone has said you will love this movie. It's been in tons of lists of things like, yeah, this is obviously a DK movie.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things where I was like, yeah, I'll get there. I'll get
And
to it
I,
eventually.
I of all people cannot believe that you didn't see that when I have seen it like probably 10 times.
Sure. Well, I knew, and I knew it was a sequel name, but I couldn't quite get, I couldn't, and I hadn't seen it. So
Mhm.
I ordered the Blu-ray
Okay.
and we watched it, and I had a blast.
Yes.
I just want to recommend that movie to people.
Right.
I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. This is the right crowd for people to know that
Oh
movie,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm just gonna just pop real quick, pop up on the screen here, the just so people can see the cover. He's the ultimate killer. She's the perfect weapon. Ninja 3: The Domination. Hire me to do voiceovers.
Right.
Uh, what a movie. It has. everything. The first 15 minutes is like a dude, he's like a ninja getting 5 stars in GTA at a golf course.
Right.
I mean, it's wild. The way it starts is unbelievable. Um,
The spinning in the sand is what gets me the most in
yep,
that sequence.
been thinking about that a lot for
Yeah.
sure. The spinning into the sand, but also the spinning on like when she's because there's a possession aspect to this film,
Right.
and she's like tied up and she's like spinning around this like rope thing.
Hmm.
Uh, it's unbelievable. It was
A,
really
ro-
fun.
aerobics instructor becomes a super ninja.
I mean, basically that's what happens. So I really enjoyed watching that movie.
It was such a great movie.
And I got the Blu-ray and was watching the special features and yeah, I'm a fan. I knew I would, but that's the thing, like I'm not surprised. I knew I would love this movie.
I mean, let's be honest, anything in the 80s with Sho Kazuki in it is
You better believe he's in it. Um and you know, it's a Golden Globus, you know, it's a canon movie.
hmm
What I mean, all the ingredients are there and they got a recipe that I enjoy.
right.
So I highly recommend for people if you just want to have like a fun night of TV
I
movie.
miss those movies being mainstream,
Yeah.
and then just the opposite, like the last time, we were talking about Sinners and Crossroads with Ralph Macchio.
Yep.
And then I think we got one of our faithful listeners watching that movie. So,
Beautiful.
yes,
Beautiful. Well, let me know if anyone watches Ninja 3. You
three.
don't need to, from what I understand, you don't need to have seen Ninjas 1 and 2.
You don't. You don't.
Although I want to now, and I
Yeah.
will. I think there's a new like 4K set coming.
Okay.
I think that'll be mine.
That'll be worthwhile.
I
Yeah.
think so. As much as I enjoyed Ninja 3, I understand that the first two maybe don't have some of those same elements, but even if it's just a ninja action, I mean
Yeah.
that's all I need,
It,
baby.
it, it's got show in it, so that's all you need.
Yep, I'm sure I'll enjoy. So yeah, that's an easy recommendation for people, and it's one that I felt bad for not having seen yet. I knew it would come eventually. It's just, and you know, I try to save movies like that sometimes because I feel like there's a limited number, and I'm
I,
having to search increasingly to find
I
things like
I
this.
think we need to do a marathon of these kind of movies.
Hmm.
Go through the ninja movies, hit the American Ninja, at least the first one,
Yeah, I would.
and then top it off with Gymkhana.
Okay, we can talk about them. Maybe we do like a series.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be fun. But so yeah, if anyone has more suggestions along the lines of Ninja 3, I had a great time. I really love the supernatural element to that, so that really helps. But look, yeah, I can enjoy a ninja film.
I
Sure.
mean, who couldn't?
Yeah. So, yeah, any more things like that. Bonus points for a fantastical or supernatural element
Right,
would be good. So
right.
please, I need your recommendations. Doesn't have to be a ninja movie, but just movies along these lines
Yep.
would be wonderful. So that's really all I have pre-ordered Doom: The Dark Ages, but I can't play that until later in the week because
Yes.
it's not out yet by the time we're recording this.
God, I can't wait.
I know it's downloaded, it's ready to go.
I mean, just seeing the gameplay. The cinematics looked pretty good, but just seeing the damn gameplay. Holy hell.
I
I,
read a
I,
review. Oh, go
I
ahead.
want that saw blade shield so bad.
The shield is a chainsaw, and there's a gun that shoots skull fragments as
I know.
bullets.
Yes.
That's just it's beautiful. Boy, I cannot wait for that game. I need it. I need
Yeah.
it to happen. I've loved the last two, and this is just the time is right for Doom: The Dark Ages
Yes.
for sure.
And not only that, just the fact that it has dragons
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
and what looks
Mechs,
almost
giant
like,
mechs.
yeah, like kaiju and mechs. Holy hell.
Yep. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. I'll be giving a
Yeah.
review. But yeah, I think that other than I'm still plugging away on the Oblivion remake,
Okay.
but people have heard about it. People know.
Right. I mean,
Uh,
it's been pretty well talked about by a lot of people,
I got
so I know
trapped in
it's
a cave with some vampires, and that was pretty tough, but we got through it. Enjoying it so far.
good, good, good.
Anything else that you've watched or read or anything?
I'm just going through all of my haul of comics from a couple months
Oh
ago.
yeah,
I started like rearranging the Image ones that I got. So some Young Blood going back to that.
you know I like that one.
Some the Prophet is in there.
Hmm.
Wildcats. Yeah,
Sure,
going through and reading back through all those. Starbrand,
some
some of the
classic
new
stuff
universe
there.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, and then I hit some of my big ones that I got. Like the first appearance of Malice.
Mm.
And a couple other my Black Panther #2.
Comics are good.
Yes. So,
I like them.
but have you been able to get any of the new ones yet?
I think I cannot remember. Did I talk about the ending of Hell Riders?
No.
Is it Hell Riders? Yeah, Hell Riders.
Yes.
That ended,
Okay.
but it was such a good run. I would urge people to, I'm sure there'll be, a trade version. Definitely look out for that.
Okay.
It's World War II. You got young Bucky, you got a new Ghost Rider, you got the Soldier Supreme, who's like the Sorcerer Supreme, but he's a soldier
Right.
who looks like Hulk Hogan. Um, you got Peggy Carter's in there, and of course, you got Wolverine.
Right.
And they basically look, if it's been this long and people haven't read it, I'm going to give a little bit of a spoiler just to whet your appetite, maybe. And they at one point all are given gifts by Zorathos, however you say it,
Yeah.
the demon that is Ghost Rider. They are all given hell gifts to use against an army of supernatural Nazis, and it is just a blast. Highly recommend. I mean, it's a World War II story with
Right.
supernatural elements and, Wolverine killing Nazis. It was really, really good. I highly enjoyed that. Oh, you know what? I did read the first half of the newer Mike Mignola thing. It's called Bowling with Corpses. I don't think we've talked
Okay.
about this
No,
yet.
we haven't talked about that one yet.
Bowling with Corpses. I wish I had it in here. I'd hold it up. I don't. It's in the other room, and I'm not getting up. Bowling with Corpses. Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy, of course, and
Right.
WPRD stuff, and some other really, really good stuff.
Right.
Um, he does the art, and he wrote it,
Okay.
and it is like it's really unique because it is clearly Mignola style. Looks like his work, obviously, and what you get is a series of sometimes connected like myths and folk tales
Hmm.
and like creation stories and little like almost like morality like fables sort of things.
Okay.
It might not sound that like badass, but it is so fun to read. And I don't know if some of these are like based on like I don't know how these exist. They feel real, but
Hmm.
I've never heard of any of them. So I'm going to assume he has made them all up. I don't know that, but they all feel so unique, but at the same time, like he's telling stories that he heard as a kid. I don't know if that's the case,
Okay.
but they're really, really neat. I'm highly recommending Bowling with Corpses. The first story is about a kid who goes on an adventure and he meets these basically ghouls that say, "Hey, if you can beat us in a game, we won't eat you, and in fact, we'll give you a reward." And that's the bowling that we're talking
Okay.
about. And he's bowling for his life essentially. But then he comes. It is like it's like an old fairy tale. Then he comes to this kingdom, and this thing has happened, and he has to free someone who's trapped in a castle. And there's this morality story about a guy who wants to be a fisherman and he used to be a fisherman, but he knows how to deal with ghosts for some reason and he stays a night in this haunted house to get a reward. Um, it's it's very strange. Again, I don't really know. And there's like mixed in, there's like weird creationism stories and weird
Right.
like this is how the world was made, and this is how this, and but it's all very like mystical and but again, like I keep coming back to this, but it like kind of feels like these are real stories, but I just don't. I've never heard of them, and maybe they are, but I found them to be very fun to read,
Okay.
and like you could almost read it to a kid. You know what I mean? I mean, there's
Right.
some, I'm not maybe don't if your kid's a little younger, but like, I mean, there's nothing so far like totally crazy in there.
Right.
And some of those old stories like that are kind of dark to begin with,
Oh
and a lot of
yeah.
these like they're definitely visually dark, and then some of them, you
I
know,
mean, let's be honest, if you read all the real Grimm's fairy tales,
exactly.
they're really dark.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this has that aspect.
Okay.
So I'm really enjoying it. In fact I put it down because I didn't want to blow through it all at once because I was
Right.
enjoying it that much.
Good.
So I will probably have finished it by the time we talk next. But
Okay.
yeah, it's really, really good. I got the hardback, and I'm highly recommending Bowling
Okay.
with Corpses for
Yeah,
sure.
I wrote that down, so next time I'm down there, I'm gonna see if
You
I
can
can
get it.
picking it
It,
up.
it took me forever to get it. I had to special order it. They was sold out.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, then I may have to look online.
yeah.
So,
But yeah, that's a big recommendation.
okay.
Just a fun, easy read, and just like interesting things on every page. And you know how his art is.
Right.
I just love that look. So yeah, I could talk about it for a while, but let's just leave it there.
Okay.
You got anything else?
The only thing we'll talk about it for a second, but apparently it all got wiped from being able to see it.
Hmm.
That we got a little glimpse of Spider Noir.
I briefly let the video play in the Discord, but I'm not able to watch it.
Right.
So I only got to sort of see a little bit of. I mean, there wasn't much to see,
Right.
but I didn't actually get to watch it. So you're gonna have to walk me through. This is now. Is this a show?
Yes, this is going to
Okay,
be a show. So, Nicolas Cage, is Spider-Man Noir.
of course he is.
It has, I mean, the only really we saw a little bit of action to it. It seems like there's like an underlying almost supernatural element to it as well.
Okay.
But it had a lot of Sin City feel
Well, yeah. When
visually.
it's Spider-Man Noir, I mean that's
Right.
if it doesn't have that, they're doing something wrong.
Well, I mean, there was one scene that really made me have that feel where he was standing behind a bad guy all of a sudden, and he had the stark white glasses from the
Oh
reflection.
yeah, like Kevin
So
has.
yeah.
Love that.
So, but it from the couple of snippets and some of the dialogue that was in it, it actually looks pretty good. So we'll see.
It's all black and white, I
All
assume,
black and white,
as it should be.
as far as I know. Who knows? They may actually do that Sin City thing and throw a splash of color
Or
now and
like
again.
maybe like daytime is color and then nighttime is black and white, something like
Yeah,
that. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Well, like I said, what I briefly saw looked fine. As you say, Sin City style. Um, I don't know much about that character. I know he's in Spider-Verse, right?
Across the Spider-Verse,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know I'm a bad comics fan and I haven't seen those. I know people love them. I've heard they're amazing. I haven't watched them.
I've never been a fan of that style of art.
Yeah.
So I've heard they're good. It's just not my thing, so
I
I haven't really
remember
watched it.
I tried to watch the first one and I remember just not being in the mood. And I was like, I feel like this is for kids. And I watched like it's like
Right.
I watched like 15 minutes of it and I was like, well, maybe this is fine, but I'm not in the mood.
Yeah.
So, and I'm probably going to get hate for that. I'm sure it's good. The people who I know that have seen it really like it.
Right.
So I'm sure it's good. I'm not
Yeah.
like trying to talk shit about it.
No.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So, but that's exciting.
But I mean that's pretty much, that's one little thing. We've got a ton of stuff starting to come out. So I know in the next couple of days we're getting a lot of trailers. The first Superman trailer is coming out soon, and we'll talk about that
I
next
feel like
time.
we've had so many trailers for that already.
But nothing as an actual trailer.
Yeah, we don't
You
know the
know,
story. We don't
right.
know. Yeah, and I look forward to it. And
Uh,
you know what? People are gonna, let's just talk about Superman very quickly
yeah,
because I keep reading hate for Superman. And if you hate Superman, I'm sorry.
right,
For me and for a lot of people in my generation and beyond, he's a classic character. He's a character that I grew up with. That original movie, I mean, a few of those original movies,
right,
untouchable movie. They're untouchable classics. Like I
right,
cry when I watch Superman 1. I'm not afraid to admit it. I love that movie. There's something about the hopefulness and the
right,
colorfulness and the it just feels amazing. I mean, I love those Superman movies. And I can understand and agree with sometimes like, yeah, how do you make Superman interesting when he's an unbeatable god? But that's when some of those stories get interesting is when he has to deal with human problems,
right.
you know?
I mean,
Uh,
he's almost the opposite side of the coin of Spider-Man to a degree.
hmm.
It's more about his human problems than it necessarily is his power. And Spider-Man is this, kind of street level for the most part, has always been for your average street level
He's often above the
kind of
street,
hero.
Chris.
Right. Well, yeah, swinging
He has
across.
webs that he goes on.
Right. Yes, I get that. But you know, more of it is his how he's dealing with outside of having the costume on.
Yeah, exactly.
And Superman is kind of the flip side of that. Then it's how do I have a normal life with still having this great kind of power?
And he's in the new one clearly trying to do like he has crypto, like he has a dog.
Right, right,
Assuming he has a girlfriend, like he's gonna have those normal problems to deal with, but
right.
also
From everything that I've heard, this is he's starting out as Superman, but like he's already has established relationships. So like him and Lois are they're not like Man of Steel, him and Lois, but they have a relationship already.
we can't get Amy Adams into another bathtub.
Yeah,
Well, that's too bad.
she had her time.
She's still having it at my house.
Right. Alrighty then.
The night bitch herself.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm looking forward to this. I'm cautiously optimistic.
I'm shutting off the cynicism.
Yeah,
I'm trying to because it's Superman. I'm trying to keep the positivity.
right,
And I want to be clear. Like I'm not seeing the trailers and going, oh, this is a version of the Superman world that we have not yet seen in live
right,
action.
right,
There's been the uber dark, you know, Snyder version, which I look. I like Man of Steel. I've said this before. I don't hate Man of Steel at all.
no,
But that movie had to follow the rules of Batman Begins, or at least tonally they felt that, and you can tell it follows those rules.
right,
That version of the universe is one thing, and it's fine. Whatever. I'm tired of like the hate, and I'm tired of also hearing why it needs to continue. Like, let's just leave it. Let's bury
right,
the Snyderverse. It's fine. Um,
right.
yeah. So, but this version of the Superman world we have not had in the live action. We just haven't.
No,
It's Metropolis the way it is in the comics.
right.
And that's, I think, something that fans should be excited about.
Well, and in all honesty, I'm so sick of everything has to be dark. Everything has to be gritty. I want the fantastic. I want some of the over the top, you know, yes, people they have legitimate emotions and situations in life, but I want some of the bombastic attitudes or the fantastical fights with a freaking kaiju. You know, I want some of that. Everything does not have to be this dark, gritty, real,
Kevin
hyper
Costner gif.
realistic. Yeah, right. Which is the dumbest fucking thing ever.
I want to see what it's like inside a tornado.
Hmm. Yes.
Uh,
But
yeah, I agree. I'm ready to see some like fun comic book action with heart.
yeah.
I think that's what it'll be. So I'm optimistic for sure.
But in regards to that, yeah, with Superman, like I said, and then I know Ironheart's coming out soon. I know it's silly, but I'm actually looking forward to Lilo and Stitch.
You said that before. We watched the trailer, remember?
Yeah, I know, but I mean, just doubling down on it. It was a fun kids movie. This looks like it's frame for frame, almost, with the original. It actually looks good, and despite the some of the casting controversies, How to Train Your Dragon actually looks pretty decent too.
I haven't seen that or Lilo and Stitch.
So they're both coming out, and then, um, the final Mission Impossible is coming out.
Yep.
So
I
we've got a
know
lot of stuff to get us to July when the big movies hit.
I know Bones is hyped about that. Shout out to Bones from 5 Day
So,
Reynolds.
yeah,
Yeah, but there's some cool stuff coming for sure.
so
I'm kind of excited for Clown in the Cornfield. I went through a whole thing where like I wasn't excited for it because it didn't.
right,
I'm not scared of clowns and like I'm so tired of clowns. Like, but then it looks so. It almost looks like it comes back around from being dumb to like being fun again.
right.
And it's like such a funny idea.
I've
I don't
heard of
know.
it, but I have not seen anything. I've heard some people talk about it, but I haven't seen anything about
Mhm.
it. I mean, is there some kind of trailer or something?
There's a trailer and it's actually a popular book series.
Okay,
So there's like three of them or something like that at this point. Written by the
okay,
same guy that wrote Ghost Game, who I got the Home is
right,
Midnight has the song in.
okay.
Um, so yeah, it sounds like fun slasher, fun clown-based slasher. Oh, you know what? You know what we can talk about quickly?
What's
The new Conjuring trailer.
okay?
Did you see that?
I have not seen it.
Well, let's pull it up
Let's watch it. Yep.
because I got some thoughts. I got some big time thoughts on this.
Okay.
And I don't think it's going to be a surprise to anyone, but let me see if YouTube recommends it to me.
Okay.
Of course it doesn't. Come on, YouTube.
All I know is the Conjuring series would have been over a long time ago if Bruce Campbell,
Oh, yeah. Well, that was Insidious.
If Ash was, yeah.
That was Insidious, but
Well,
I
I
understand.
know, yeah. And that too. I mean,
Is this
it all would have
Conjuring?
been over it.
Is this Conjuring 4 or 5?
Five, isn't it?
I don't know. Conjuring 1, Conjuring 2, Conjuring. What's Conjuring 3? Was that Devil Made Me Do It?
I thought so.
Oh, but then we have Annabelle.
Yeah.
We got like 3 Annabelle movies, right? Or
Right.
4? There's a hell of a
Three,
universe
yeah.
there. Okay, here we go. I got this pulled up. And I'm going to move you over here. We will share this.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just have a look at it. And I will share my screen.
This is called making videos on the fly, people.
Yeah, we love it. I know you love it. Oh, here we go.
Okay.
It starts at a birthday party at the Warrens.
Don't touch anything. Everything you see in here is either haunted.
Well, there's the Crooked Man.
Right.
Can you hear that, by the way? Is it okay?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
it.
The Crooked Man, who was going to get his own spin-off movie that just failed, which is fine with me because I didn't find him to be interesting whatsoever.
No.
Wait,
Oh,
hang on. That's the Nun. There we go. Yeah.
right.
But like in my heart of hearts, I want this to be the horse from, and I don't know if you've seen this, but Prom Night 2, Say Hello to Mary Lou.
Oh, yeah.
There's a really fucked up horse, like a rocking horse. I hope that's what that is.
Haunted, cursed, or been used in some sort of ritualistic practice. Nothing's a toy.
And of course.
Not even the toys.
Not even the toys are toys. It's Annabelle, the
Although,
doll.
you know what? Damn it, I want to see what the cursed samurai armor is.
It's been featured so heavily in all of these. Why don't we just do it?
No doubt.
And I mean, no one's asking for it, but do it anyway.
I am.
Yeah, okay. Let this be it. We're
Yeah.
asking. We're telling. New Line Cinema, the house that Freddy built.
How many cases you guys had?
Cases.
My name is Ed Warren, here with my wife Lorraine.
Maybe 1,000.
1,000 cases.
Every case is different.
Creaky door.
Every family's different.
Need to lube that up. Very J horror scare there.
Yeah.
The hand on the shoulder.
Right. Well, especially with the sound effect. That
Yeah. Some kind of grudge going on here.
Right.
Once we start, there's no going back. Anything can happen.
Okay. That doesn't do anything for me, but I will tell you that I watched this trailer the other night on the TV, and Zora was in the room, and she goes, "Nope." When she saw that, she's like, "I am out of
Nope.
here." That was it. I mean, it feels like a YouTube video. I mean, it
Yeah.
feels like a creepy pasta, whatever. But anyway, I mean, it made me laugh, so that's fun. And look, well, here we'll get through it, and then I'll say my piece here.
Go ahead.
Most likely anything will.
I love this. I like the way the letters ascend like that. It's
Right.
great. That's a great shot.
Yeah.
Something's
He's laughing at something. What's he smiling about, you think?
Yeah. Guess he hasn't seen a dentist in a while.
Well, yeah. You're probably right.
something's changed. Something's different.
A lot of Annabelle in this trailer.
Yeah.
A burning crucifix. You're in for it. Person running quickly towards the
Yeah,
camera.
right.
So, look, I think this franchise has clearly taken a dip. I think the last one, Devil Made Me Do It, not amazing. But do I like Patrick Wilson and what's her name? Vera Farmiga?
I think
Right?
that, yeah.
Do I like them together? Yes. Am I going to watch it? Yes. I have such a soft spot, and I cannot help it, for a haunted house movie. It's like my comfort genre in some ways. I always look for, like, oh, what's the new ghost movie?
Right.
I don't believe in ghosts. It's not a thing for me, but I love these movies. So, do I think it looks like top tier award-winning cinema? No. Am I going to have a blast at the theater? I'm going to definitely make Zora go see this.
Right.
We're going to have a blast. It's going to be fun. I don't know. I can't really defend it. This is a guilty pleasure, I think, is what I would call it.
Well, and that's fine. I mean, there's absolutely tons of movies you can consider guilty pleasures that aren't the, top tier, but you'll go back and watch every time. So,
Yeah, Ninja 3, The Domination.
yeah.
So, yeah, people can talk trash if they want, but I can't lie about it. I am a fan of those Conjuring. I like the Insidious. I like the Conjuring. I have fun with the Annabelle. I don't know. I sometimes I want to be a hater, but at the end
I
of the
mean,
day,
these are the normie horror movies, and that's fine.
they're like junk
There
food.
is,
Yep.
yeah, yep.
You're right.
So,
These are gateway normie horror movies, and I hope that they get people into horror.
yeah,
So get them into the door, show them some better stuff.
right.
But yeah, it, the doll thing is funny. The baby
Right.
doll. Anyway, I'm not stoked, but I am looking forward to having a fun time in the
Right,
theater for
right.
sure, and I think we will. All right. Well, uh, I think we should probably talk Andor, and then we can end
Okay,
with Thunderbolts.
okay. Well, and when we'll talk Andor, and then I got some rumor stuff
Oh,
for things coming up. We'll do that after Andor and before Thunderbolts because it's Marvel related.
okay, perfect.
So,
So we have seen, but the night we're recording this actually is the night that the season finale. By the time you hear this, the final episodes will already be out.
right.
But we won't. We don't. We will not have. We have not seen them yet. So apologies. But if you are someone who maybe hasn't started yet or aren't sure, maybe this discussion will uh, help you make a decision. Uh, and obviously there will be spoilers.
Right.
So just broad strokes. How are you feeling about it so far, Chris?
Okay, I will say this. It took almost, and I am including the first season, it took almost 18 episodes for me to start really getting into this. I mean,
But
I
you
watched
admit that
it
you're into it.
these 7 and 8,
I got you.
yeah, 7 and 8,
8 and 9,
real
probably you
or
mean.
right, 8 and 9, but seven, the second half of 7.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they've all been
I
good, but
mean, that's
it really is ramping up. And yeah,
right.
I
The
know what you
second
mean.
is
Yeah.
kind of starting, and that's what I meant. 7 and 8 is kind of where it started to build up to episode 9.
This is
For
a,
me of actually enjoying all of it.
yeah,
Through both seasons, there were bits that I enjoyed, but like the second half of 7, going into 8, and finally 9 is where I really started enjoying this.
yeah.
I still have a hard time because I know where this is going.
I have heard this.
I'm intrigued with it, but there's no real suspense.
But couldn't you say the same thing about the entirety of the prequels?
And I honestly would say the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, there's aspects of, that were a surprise that other than what was hinted at in Legends, you know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Sure.
But yeah, I'm finally starting to enjoy it.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that.
It's gotten to finally episode 9, finally gotten to a pace that I would consider worthy of having Star Wars in the name of it.
Where you're looking forward to the next episode.
Yes.
Okay. That's good to hear.
So,
I would definitely say, just as a whole, this show has been a favorite of mine. Um, but and I can understand some of the discussions about, well, it doesn't have the fun of a traditional Star Wars, and I would just absolutely agree with you. It's not a fun show.
I mean,
But
honestly, not to stop you on there. Honestly, if this had any other title on it, I think just because of the fact that I know so much of the Star Wars universe, not even what we've seen of movies, it still hasn't really felt like some of the core aspects. You know what I'm saying?
like which ones?
Like the core aspect of like not necessarily dark gritty because Star Wars was never dark gritty, you
No,
know, it was a space fantasy opera.
totally right.
And that is not what this show is.
No.
I'm fine with it being kind of in the Star Wars sphere, but I know I'm trying to hard. It's kind of hard for me to explain what I'm really thinking of it. That why I don't think it's 100% fits in.
You just mean tonally it doesn't fit?
Yeah, and I think totally. Maybe that's just kind of where I'm going, just to narrow it down some. But
Sure. I can't really disagree. I mean, it definitely has a more adult, serious vibe. I mean, they say the word shit more than once.
which, okay, that took me out. We're in space. Have something else.
Dank Ferric.
I mean, yeah, yeah. Honestly,
Or what is it? Poodoo?
Yeah, Kudu,
Poodoo. It's a Bulba.
yeah.
Mm.
But I mean,
Yeah.
just putting a modern term into this for that moment pulled me out, and I'm like, come on,
I
let's get a
like the
little bit better writing on
I
that.
like the line. I actually really love the line. And I won't give the context just because it's a pretty big spoiler, but the line tear the shit out of this place. I like that. That got me hyped. I don't know if you do you remember that line that when
I
that was
do
said?
remember, yeah, I do remember that, but
We should also talk about, and this might be related to that, but the recasting of Jimmy Smits. God damn it.
why?
I read that he just wasn't available. I
Okay,
read that
well,
it's
I
his
mean,
fault. I read that it's on Jimmy Smits.
okay, well,
Now,
I
that
mean,
being said, this new Bail Organa feels more like a 70s dude. Like he
r-
looks more like a 70s dude.
yeah,
Like to me, that's what you're really looking for, particularly at this era of Star Wars. So that doesn't really, it is glaring when you're like, oh yeah, that's supposed to be Jimmy Smith. Great, but it is hard to get over it. You know what I mean?
and he's a good actor. He's been
He's
in tons of
fine.
stuff.
He's absolutely fine.
Well, he was in the original Doctor Strange.
Hell yes. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. His
Yeah,
performance is great. If anything, he might be a little bit of a more restrained, like maybe better actor than Jimmy Smits. But Jimmy Smits has that energy,
right.
and I like seeing him drive that, uh, you know, that car, that flying car. But yeah, anyway, the only thing is like I feel I keep feeling like we should be seeing Leia because she is active at this time. She's definitely in the rebellion at this time. I know this isn't. I understand the reason why we're not, and I think it would probably be a complaint in the other direction if she was in it. So I
Right.
don't think there's a way to win here
No.
because then it would be like, oh, it's just we're back to Leia, like back to
Right.
these, you know, and you know what? Let Mon Mothma have her day because holy shit, the actor is great. She's
Right.
very good. She nails the Mothma. Uh, I love it. I almost wish there was just more like I want to see a little bit of Tarkin. Come on.
Yeah.
What are you scared? You're scared to get
And that's the one thing with this show. It has been well acted. And
really well.
I'm not dissing his acting, but my only complaint is Diego Luna does not seem until episode 9. I saw no real charisma from him for that role.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
You know what?
saying?
No, I would disagree with you because I think he really puts it on when he is the fashion guy. I love that. And I think that's like he's showing you that
Well, I mean, no, and I'm
he's
not saying
nailing that. But like the whole thing is, and I clocked that when we were watching it.
right.
He's acting.
No,
He's acting as this guy.
and I've never said the acting part. You know what I'm saying? But Diego Luna, his character as Cassian Andor, because I don't consider when he was the quote unquote fashion guy, he was being himself.
Something Sky. What was it? Something Sky.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I want to say Norman, but it's not
Norman.
Norman.
No, but
Corvin?
I meant
It doesn't matter.
some. It's Anyway, until he was doing that and until the escape, his Cassian Andor had little to no charisma, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying he was bad acting. Maybe that was the direction they
You're
were
just saying the
trying to
choice
go
that
in. Yeah,
they've made
yeah,
for this
yeah, yeah,
character
yeah,
to
yes,
be a bit more serious all the time.
right. And not even necessarily being a bit more serious. Even a dead serious, character can have charisma, and can
For
have
sure.
that aura. And it just didn't seem like I said, until the escape, we'll call it,
So good.
and him being someone else, did that any kind of charisma come out.
Okay. I see what
So,
you mean there. Yeah, there's definitely like that aspect of the character, but so far I think this has been such a rewarding show. And yeah, we know where it's going. We know how it ends. We've all seen Rogue One.
right,
But this extra context and honestly, for me, it's just as much the Mon Mothma show as it is the Andor show. Um, Seeing her journey and the things that she has to go through, plus like Luthen and
right.
and I feel stupid for not knowing the character name, but his like assistant, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Like she's like behind the scenes, like she is like doing it.
I mean,
She's awesome.
yeah, in all honesty, if Cassian Andor was never in this, I almost would have liked kind of the upstart of the rebellion show almost a little bit better.
Hmm.
There's a couple of the characters that I would have liked to seen a little
You
more
mean
of.
Rebels?
No.
What do you mean?
Oh, yes. I mean, the Rebel Alliance, not Rebels. I thought you were talking about the actual show, Rebels.
Well, that's what I thought you were talking about.
No.
You just mean when the rebels show up,
As it,
not the
no,
show
no, no, no,
Rebels.
no, no. Like as the movement, the rebellion.
Right. Okay. Now I
Not,
understand.
okay. Yeah,
Now I
no.
understand.
No, no, no. I've never been a Rebels fan and yeah.
I tried to watch the first episode, but it was very much for kids, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch
Right.
this with Zora, and
Right.
then she wasn't interested, so we never watched it. But no, I really have nothing but good things to say. I think it's delivering, and particularly these last couple episodes. Holy shit! The payoff at Gorman, excellent. The way a certain character goes out was like, whoa! But that's
Right.
how it is,
Right.
man.
Right.
That was wild, and it makes you wonder what the other half of that relationship is
Uh,
what's gonna happen there.
the whole Gorman thing though, I really wish they would have taken it like they did from the book. I wish they would have done it a little bit more like the book.
In what way?
That the Imperial ship is what? Then it lands
Well,
and
but
kill.
that happens.
I know, but I mean, just not.
But they reference that in the show.
I know. They referenced it, but I
That's
wanted
why
to
the
see it.
monument, but that's the whole thing. Like that's why the monument is there. And that's why they built the Imperial building there to
Right.
taunt them.
No, I get that. I wanted to see that.
You want to see people get crushed by a ship? Okay.
I mean, hell, in Rogue One, we got the Death Star hitting the um, what's his face's planet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And you know what? And I've been saying this on the show for like a while now, and I'm keeping with it. I'm not
right,
going to rewatch Rogue One until Andor is done.
right.
And
Now,
I've kept that up.
I did like seeing Forrest Whitaker begin his
Huffing gas?
descent into madness. Yeah. I mean, that was the one thing after seeing Rogue One, how just kind of batshit crazy he was.
Yeah. It's because his brain
And
has
see,
been addled by fumes.
right, right.
I thought that was badass. That whole scene
Yeah,
was really good.
yeah,
That was really good. So yeah, I think there's a lot more in store for these last three episodes. I can't wait to see that and talk about it. But yeah, I think safe to say we're fans. We like it. It's Star Wars doing a good thing for once in a while.
Right.
I got a cat yelling at me.
But
But yeah.
yeah, I'm it's finally starting to get to me where Star Wars should be.
Hmm.
It's just, I mean, I'm fine with something that's slow burn, but this has been, you know, the walk to Minas Tirith without any action in between.
I get it. I get it.
So,
To me, it's all just building and building, and that's why the big release at Gorman and then beyond, and then the Senate. That whole episode, holy shit! I mean, and I loved, by the way, I didn't even talk about this in those previous episodes. The things that Cyril is doing, the sort of spycraft that he gets to
right,
do.
right. I
I
mean, he just steals a show, I think.
It was wonderful. Yeah.
Now,
So
from what I get, I think the final episodes were a year out from Yevon.
yeah. So
So,
the next three episodes will be the year before the Death Star,
right,
and then not long before Rogue One, obviously,
right, obviously.
because Rogue One ends with the beginning of Star Wars.
Right.
So we kind of have that down to the minute, really,
Yeah.
which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Uh,
The only thing I was like, I wish they would have gotten, and why I said like the second half of seven, that kind of recap and catching us up for a year between the last of the previous set of three to the beginning of the new set of three. I almost wish there wasn't so much gap.
those years.
Yeah.
I get
Like
it.
that year jump systematically,
My worry is that
you know.
then you add another season on and we lose the we lose it. I really am a fan of, and this is in general, a limited series. So if we're saying
Oh, and I'm fine with that too.
you
Yeah.
get two awesome seasons of Andor and that's it, that makes it that much more special to me. I love that. So yeah, I'm definitely on board. So we'll see. We will see
Right.
how it ends. But so
Right.
far, my thoughts are very high of this show for sure. You could almost recommend it to a non-Star Wars fan. Almost.
Right. Right.
I think the writing is pretty damn good.
Yeah, if somebody that is into like espionage and spy and
Hmm.
you know almost this almost has like a World War I kind of pre, battle,
For
like
sure.
everything leading up to
Well, and definitely, I think World
and
War
the
II, obviously,
espionage.
is,
Yeah.
I mean, like we clearly have like a French resistance going on.
Right,
I mean,
right.
clearly, right? So it's there.
If you're into that, I think you'd really like it. I mean, it does take a while to build up. Like I said, it took almost 18 episodes for me to really start getting, you
Hmm.
know,
But the focus on the Empire being the bad guy, I like that. Like we really learn why.
right.
We really like you. Yeah, you get to see it, and I
Well,
think
and,
that's pretty
and I'm
cool.
actually glad they did that instead of this, well, there's gr morality that's gray.
Hmm.
You know, they're bad. I mean, it's
The
simple as that. It's cut
Dude,
and
the
dry.
evil
It's
boardroom meetings. I
yeah,
love an evil boardroom
right.
meeting. I continue to just anytime those Imperials are on the screen, like making their evil plans, I'm just like, yes, 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 yes. Tell me about
Right.
it, please. I love it. Love
And
it.
this has done that, gone past the thing that I've hated for a while, that like every bad guy it's a tragic story of why he turned evil, or he wasn't loved as a child, so he decided to pull the legs off of puppies or something.
Ooh,
Evil can be just evil. You know,
yeah,
it doesn't have to be this, you know, everything has to be gray. There is definite black and white.
sure,
So,
absolutely. But yeah, we will obviously discuss the last three episodes on the next episode.
right.
Any further things on Andor before we finish up with Thunderbolts? Oh no,
No, I
no,
mean,
no, sorry. You had
yes, yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead with
No,
what you got.
but with Andor, no, there's nothing really. I mean, we'll wait and see. Hopefully, it pays off these last three episodes. I mean,
Yep.
we shall see. No, and when we're kind of do you have any last things with Andor?
Nope, I'm happy with it.
Okay, all right. Um, we know Doomsday is getting filmed. We've seen some behind the scenes stuff.
Yep.
There's tons of X-Men rumors coming out.
Yes.
So, we possibly have the director, which is the same person that directed Thunderbolts.
Yep.
So apparently he is in talks. Um, and like I had said before, the shift to all new X-Men actors was going to happen
It needs to.
after Doomsday.
It's got to happen.
So, um, there's a couple things that, let's see, some rumors are coming out of people that are in talks or, quote unquote, potential castings. I thought kind of the honest one that literally just came out is Nev Campbell,
As what?
Polaris, Magneto's daughter.
Okay. I
Laura Dane, yeah.
Interesting.
And I'm really wondering where they're going, if they're gonna go that 80s X-Men
Huh.
with her as one of the I know, did you ever see The Substance? Have you gotten to see it?
I still haven't. No, and I know I'm a bad
Man.
horror fan, and I know it won awards, and I know. No, I know. I haven't seen it yet.
But anyway, the big rumor is with that the girl that played the younger Demi
Younger,
Moore,
Didn't need more, yeah.
yeah, Margaret Qualley,
Huh?
that she is going to be Rogue.
You tell me, is that a good casting? I don't know that actor.
I mean, she was good in The Substance. I personally don't know if that's good or bad. I'd have to see her. She's young, she's attractive. If she can play Southern, we'll
Right.
see.
Okay.
I know the whole Sadie Sink is still her name is getting, even though she's sent to be in the new Spider-Man.
Oh, right. Oh, maybe
There's
that
still there's
translates.
still
Maybe
the
that's something.
yeah there's still the talks of her being Jean Grey,
I could see that.
which personally I think she would be better Firestorm.
I mean, isn't that obvious? Yeah, I would totally
So
agree.
I
Yeah.
mean, because to me, she doesn't fit the Jean Grey image in my head.
Right, because we've only seen her be more of a fire starter, Firestar,
Yeah, Firestar.
type.
Yeah. So, Julie Butters is Kitty Pryde.
I don't know who that
So
is.
she was in,
I know who Kitty Pryde is, by the
no, I
way.
know, I know. I'm trying to think of, I had it what she was in, but
Butters? South
Butters.
Park.
No,
Oh, okay.
that's a different Butters.
Oh, my bad.
I'm gonna look it up because it's driving me nuts.
Butters? It's Julia Child.
Yeah.
Butter? You take some butter? Yeah, so I should be talking right now while you look this up.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But of
Uh,
course, oh God, this is killing me.
I tell you what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to tell the listener.
Go ahead.
If you've listened to the new, well, you know what? No, I'm not even going to do that. Um, boy,
The Fablemans.
Spielberg, right?
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
Yep.
I don't watch real movies. Have people picked up on that yet?
Once upon a time in Hollywood.
Okay, I've seen that.
Yeah.
What was she in that?
She was, what was it said? Trudy Fraser.
Mm.
She was young in that. And
Is she the one that
when
like
she,
gets picked up at like Brad Pitt picks her up?
I think so. I think that's the one she. It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
Okay. When I saw it
So,
in the theater, a man fell asleep next to me and was snoring loudly for much of the film.
um,
He missed a good hour and a half
right.
of the movie. And it's like the question is, do you wake him up to be cool or is it like weird?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he paid good money to sit there.
Or if he's snoring, do you chuck M&Ms to see if you can
Yeah, or
score
like,
points?
does he really need this nap? Like, what's his life
Right.
like at home right
Right.
now? I don't know. So I left him alone.
Yeah, but the other big one that I had heard, Mark Strong as Professor X.
I don't know if I dig that. I like Mark Strong, let's be clear.
Yeah,
He's good. I've liked him in everything I've seen him in. But does he
right.
make sense as Professor X? Just is it just because he's bald?
I honestly think he could do it.
Jason Statham is Professor X.
No.
I tell you
No,
what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna get Wolverine to come down here.
Oh shit. Yeah, no, I mean, I think he could. I mean, personally, if you're going with a younger cast, you almost don't want too old of a Professor X. I mean, they're obviously not going to go back to, you know, McAvoy and Fassbender.
What's Patrick Stewart doing these days? Maybe he's free. It's
Surviving.
gonna be so hard to get past Patrick Stewart. I mean,
Yeah.
he is Professor X.
I mean, I thought McAvoy did a hell of a job.
He was fine, yeah.
So,
No
but,
issues.
but it will be hard to.
But better is Fassbender as Magneto. I mean,
Right, right.
he's so good. In my
Yeah,
mind, he makes way more sense as Magneto than Ian McKellen.
right. But we'll see. Like I said, those are only rumors. I do know in regards to Doomsday and Secret War, um, they let it slip that there's going to be a battle between old X-Men and a member of Fantastic Four.
The Thing,
No,
the Human
Nightcrawler
Torch.
and Mr. Fantastic.
I'm doing the math. I don't know who wins that. Maybe Nightcrawler.
That's because he let it slip one time in an interview and
Which
said that,
one? Who let it slip? Pedro?
yeah, no, not Pedro.
Oh, isn't it Alan Cumming?
Yeah, Alan let it slip in an interview.
Was it real or
So
was he messing around?
no, he was dead serious about it.
Interesting.
So I'm wondering if Doomsday is going to be part X-Men versus Avengers.
What's going to be the reason for their why are they fighting?
I mean, Secret Wars
I
is
mean, I
all these
understand the
worlds
secret
collide,
word. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
I
get
mean,
that. I
and
shouldn't even have said that.
it could be Doomsday manipulating one side over the other.
It almost has to be that.
So
You think the Beyonder is going to be in this or what?
I don't know. I've also heard rumors for that, but those are just rumors
Hmm,
and taken with a giant grain of salt.
sure.
So, but there is one little thing that has me curious because we know that potentially old Fantastic Four members that haven't been announced could be in,
You mean like the OG, like Chris
yes,
Evans is back again?
like like there's a thing of Chris Evans possibly playing multiple
You've got him.
parts.
Why not? They've already done it once.
So yeah, but
I
him
want,
also
dude.
playing
Hey,
Captain America,
we better get Chickless back
Captain
then.
Hydra, and Johnny.
You think Hydra will be there?
Maybe,
Hail Hydra, by the way.
but Yeah, when and though, like I said, all of this, other than the in talks for director and in talks with Nev Campbell,
Do you think Frank Grillo will be back?
Crossbones,
Yeah.
I doubt it. He
It's too
kind of
bad.
went boom.
Only a little.
I mean, he didn't fall down and boom. He went up and boom.
Yep.
So, but anyway, those are just some of the things because a lot of that stuff is coming out,
You think
and
the leader is going to show up?
God, I hope not.
Everyone's favorite new Marvel villain?
Oh Lord, did you see they released the
Yes, and they
original
made a big
test?
mistake because that was
Oh
better.
my God, that was so much better.
So stupid.
But anyway, those are just kind of things swirling around. So, and maybe next episode, we've done this before, but the X-Men movie is close in hand. Maybe we should kind of go with the era we like to see moving forward, and for real, who we want cast.
I feel like you're way better at the casting thing than me. I suck at that. I don't know who anybody
Well,
is.
you got 2 weeks
I
to
know
do
about
some
Charles
studying.
Bronson. I can talk about Charles Bronson. I don't know any new actors. I don't know. That's going to be hard for me, Chris.
You got 2 weeks.
Gosh.
You have homework.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
So,
I'm not making any promises, am
all
I?
right, Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. Let me start that talk.
Okay.
We went to the theater to see this uh pretty recently. And I just got to get this out of the way right now.
Okay.
I had a miserable experience at the theater.
Ooh,
It was fairly crowded, which that doesn't bother me. In fact, I
right,
prefer it. I kind of prefer it most of the time. Because the reactions and the fun and the energy and whatever.
right,
Um, I've always thought of the movies as a communal event.
right.
The problem with my showing was the speakers were absolutely fucked.
Oh,
So you could hear dialogue, but I'm telling you, there was not a lick of music in the
really?
film. No. Like we had no music. And
Oh,
the
that's
speakers
rough.
were crackling throughout. Obviously they're
Mm,
having an audio issue.
right,
I had brought my family. Everyone was sat down having their treats and snacks and stuff. And they were enjoying themselves well enough, but it drove me crazy
right.
and it really hurt the experience
Well, I know
because
how much you're on soundtrack and sound
yes.
guy, and yeah,
So there was a problem. And so like you would get hints of like, hey, there might be music here, or there might be a wisp of something. But I know there were like some needle drops in that movie and
yeah,
some songs that showed up because I stayed through the credits and I
right.
saw all these songs. I'm like, we didn't hear that. We didn't hear
Uh,
that. So it was,
uh,
and I went out and told the employees when it was over, and I was like, we don't want to come back until that is fixed because that
right,
that was terrible.
right.
Um, I mean, it was really bad. So we basically
That's tough.
we got dialogue and some sound effects,
Ooh,
and the music is a huge part of it, as you know.
right,
So I
right.
just I I'll just give you my overall thoughts, and I think the movie was fine and maybe even good, but because I was so mad about the music, and because I was having such a hard time even concentrating,
Mhm.
I mainly spent most of the movie being pissed.
I
So,
understand it.
and it's like I knew that if I got up and said something during the movie, they're not going to fix that. They can't fix that now.
No, no, you have to have a tech guy in
We were
there
locked
working on
in.
the, yeah.
Yeah. So, I chose to deal with it, and I know that it hampered my enjoyment of the film. That being said, obviously it's a fun movie. Um, I I'm sure that when I get to see the real version, the full version,
Right,
I will enjoy it more.
right.
But for me, I'm still going to give it a thumbs up. I mean, let's just get that out of the way. Like it's better than Red Hulk movie, obviously.
Yeah, Or Marvel.
what were your thoughts? How'd you feel about it?
I mean, I liked it. Is it pre-Endgame good? No, but it was still pretty good, in my opinion. The only thing I really didn't like, and I've not liked her in anything that she's been in, her character is uh Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Uh-huh.
I hate her as that character.
You're supposed to hate her, Chris.
No, I mean hate her being that character. She's the same damn person as Elaine, as Veep, and it drove me nuts. I think they should have got somebody like Monica Bellucci to play that character. If you've read who that character is in the comic books, she would have been more, actress wise, similar to the character from the comic books.
I was
I
uh
just,
I was surprised to see her origin story where she had an insane accent
yeah,
and then she's Elaine without any accent at all.
right,
That did make me go, hang on.
right, and she did the accent horribly. But
Uh yeah. Anyway, go on. You said
anyway,
Monica Bellucci, and I'm thinking about the Twin Peaks Monica Bellucci dream.
oh,
And David Lynch says I had the Monica Bellucci dream again. And then in within the show,
right.
he is literally like having lunch with Monica Bellucci, the actor.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I love it. Anyway, go on.
It's definitely meta at that point.
It's very good.
Um, no, but I mean, I liked the, I don't want to say camaraderie, but like the dynamic maybe. Um, I've heard a lot of these like reviewers and everything else. I I think Marvel gave them this talking point about mental health, mental health, mental health. I didn't think that that was overdone in the movie. I mean, yes, there is some kind of themes of people dealing with stuff.
Literally what Sentry represents in the movie.
Right,
100%.
right.
But
But
is it beating you over the head?
no,
I didn't
no.
think so.
But I'm saying that's kind of like it sounded like from listening to these people review it, it was like a given talking point. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Talk about how this movie represents this your struggle with mental
Right,
health.
and
Yeah,
yes,
I can see that. I haven't heard any of those interviews, but I'm sure you're right.
right,
The mental health issue, and look, that aspect worked for me. I've had my struggles. You've had your struggles. I know. Uh, Definitely, I'm a person who has those rough days and those days where I feel like I'm void. So obviously, very easy to identify with, and at certain points, it really did work. I felt that
Well, and
it
that's
did
what I'm
tap into
saying. It
that,
doesn't.
but it definitely did not feel
It
like
was not
it
like the
wasn't preaching
theme of the
anything to
movie.
me.
Yeah, and it
No,
didn't
no,
really
no, no.
like the theme of the movie.
But when it came up, I was like, "Ooh, that tapped in just right for
Right.
me." You know,
And you know what? And that's the thing. Movies used to be that way. They would have an issue, but they wouldn't preach. They wouldn't beat you over the head. And, honestly, some movies for the last 10 to 15 years, we've had some of those come through that
mhm,
have been, critically acclaimed. But personally, I thought they're shit because of it.
sure.
But this one didn't seem to have that. So,
And I like the look of Void too.
right, right. So, I mean, I liked the movie. I'm not gonna say that I would rank it above some of my favorites, but it's definitely above anything we've gotten probably almost since Endgame, personally.
I can definitely see this movie going up for me in a rewatch. I have a really hard time scoring it very high right now
Well, yeah, obviously
because of the
with
mess
the
that it was, and I had a hard
right,
time enjoying it. Um, it's hard for me to be objective when I'm so pissed about that
right,
just shit experience. I mean, luckily we went on cheap night.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I think there's a lot there, but yeah, the whole mental health, it definitely tapped into something real. Um, you know, uh, I liked it, and I liked the team. I think it's really fun to see uh, Kurt Russell's kid out there
Wyatt,
doing his
yeah.
thing. I like to see
Hashtag John Walker did nothing wrong.
he killed the guy with a shield.
Bastard was a terrorist, killing people. Fuck him.
uh, I yeah, I thought it was good. I liked the like you said, the camaraderie, the I can I think I'm this guy when it comes to my friends. Like I'm the Red Guardian. I'm the guy that like wants to get the former glory back
Yeah,
and I just want to be on the team. I'm the guy that just like wants to make sure everyone's having fun together and like,
right,
we're doing something fun and like getting somewhere.
right.
I'm that guy on the team, so I totally get that. And I like I thought it was fun. I can tell you that my daughter had a blast.
Good,
She
good.
laughed at every joke. Uh, she liked Bob. She was a big fan of Bob.
Right. Which ironically was his name in Top Gun Maverick and was also his call sign, Bob.
Oh, it was Bob. That's funny. That's really weird.
And then,
Yeah.
but
How did you feel about the Avengers Tower, Stark Tower thing?
I mean, I with everything that happened, I can see that. Personally, I was thinking at some point that was gonna get turned into the Baxter building,
Hmm.
you know, trying to guess. I would have thought that would have been more of a Baxter building
I don't think
than
they can do that. The Baxter Building is has its own so much history. It's its own building. Don't do that. I
no.
would have been mad about that actually. That's
Eh,
not the Baxter Building.
it's not like Rain couldn't have completely converted that.
I guess. My first question during the destruction of downtown was where the fuck is Spider-Man? Where is Doctor Strange?
It's
What's
yeah.
going on? But at the same
Well, I
time, it's
mean,
like this
Doctor
was a quick
Strange can be in the
the
time void,
multiverse.
yeah,
He could be in hanging out with Dr. Mordred,
or what's her
but
face?
for legal reasons, no.
Yeah. Remember, he's gone with Charlize Theron.
Is that ever going to pay off?
No, you know it. Half the shit that happened in Phase 4 and Phase 5 and like whatever they wanted to call 6, none of that shit's
He's
gonna
gonna
pay
pop up
off.
and he's gonna pop up in Doomsday and be like, "Hey, we took care of Kang.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for sure." But
But
yeah, I don't have a whole lot more to say about Thunderbolts because again, I had a shitty experience, but
right,
I can tell that it was fun. I liked seeing, I did understand the whole, and that mental health thing was not just with Bob, but it was also with, like
Elena.
Elena being bored and feeling like she doesn't know where she belongs and all that.
Right,
But to me, that's just like a good character thing, you know?
right. It was written pretty well,
Yeah,
you know.
I gotta agree. I did
Now,
love when Red Guardian showed back up in the limo.
yeah.
He's screaming at them and they're trying to hide.
Yeah.
And look, it's cool to hate David Harbour these days, but what are you gonna do? I like him. I'm a
I mean,
fan.
he's that's the way the character is portrayed, and he's living up to that character's portrayal.
I would not be mad if we got like a Red Guardian in the 80s, like kicking ass
Right.
movie. That'd be pretty cool.
Now,
Just saying.
I would say this movie solidified my belief that Bucky should have been the next Captain America.
He's great.
I
He's really
mean,
great.
flat out, he should have been the next Captain America before Sam. I've hated that decision ever since they did it because they jumped so far over where that story should have progressed.
I'm just surprised at his longevity in these movies. A character like Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, like, isn't
I
it
mean,
funny that?
that's a testament to his acting in that portrayal of that character.
Hmm. Sure, I totally agree.
You know,
He's good. He's definitely good.
so
You know what? It's funny. After Thunderbolts, I went back and watched Captain America 1.
mm,
And you know what? It's a comfortable movie.
I love
I
that. The
don't mind
first
it at all.
Avenger.
I forgot that Tommy Lee Jones is in it.
How do you forget that?
I don't know. It's not something I think about every day. Not like I think about like Donald Pleasance every day.
Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, that's true. The Tooch. Uh, I like the Tommy Lee Jones has a couple lines that made me laugh really hard. Like where he's like, "I
Oh
thought
yeah.
you were just gonna keep him around like a gerbil or something." Like, what? That was pretty good.
Right.
Yeah. Uh, but no, I don't have any more on Thunderbolts. I
Uh,
look forward to watching it again in its entirety, in its
right.
completeness.
Now we did get a couple of post-credit
Let's talk
scenes.
about those. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll let you talk about the first one and I've got a couple things about the second one. So there
Okay.
wasn't much to the first one per se.
I'm blanking on the. Oh no, I'm not blanking. I got it. I think that. I mean, clearly we're setting up for something in Doomsday, right?
Right.
Um, I like their shitty like NASCAR suits. I don't know what you want to call those, but they're like
Yeah.
shitty uniforms that are like
Yeah.
branded like Doritos or whatever.
Right. I did think it was funny. It was like, Bucky was like, yeah, Sam may take legal action.
Yeah, it could be like a Civil War II situation, but
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be that. But I mean, maybe that leads to something. And you know, if what you're
Maybe that
saying is
gets
true,
maybe that gets Matt Murdock.
oh yeah, they have to do the whole movie's a court
He's
case.
defending the Avengers
Doomsday is a movie
with a
about a
Z,
courtroom.
yeah.
That might be good.
Yeah. Jennifer Walters and it's just a
Oh, that'd be great. Him versus She-Hulk.
right.
Oh, and the court case of the century. That's
And can
great.
imagine, the cross-examination of David Harbour on the stand.
Yep, that would be fun. Let's have that.
Yeah.
But so that was, setting up some things that we don't really have context for. So I don't really
Right.
know, much about that. But then in the second one, um, I kind of had an inkling what it would be because I was reading the credits and I was looking at
Right.
the music and it said Fantastic Four theme and I was like, well, we didn't hear any music in the movie, so I wonder if I missed that somewhere
Right.
or is there going to be more? And then obviously there was.
Right.
Um, it doesn't really tell you much except what we already kind of knew was that the Fantastic Four will be coming to our
Right.
Marvel universe.
Right.
They're going to be in their own. I have a feeling that maybe they're giving us this because maybe they fail in their movie. Galactus eats the Earth. Maybe.
Now, I have a little theory and why I said earlier that I think maybe both Fantastic Fours will be in the new one.
Yep.
And it's a small detail. If you look in the trailer for Fantastic Four, the new movie,
Yep. I've heard of it.
it has their Fantastic Four ship has three fins.
Okay.
The one that was in the end credit scene has four. I know it's a little detail,
It could have
but
just
that
been a
ship,
post thing where they're like, well, maybe it should have four.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know, but in everything else almost looks identical except for the back end of the ship.
That feels like a stretch, but also could be something, knowing
So, I
Marvel.
mean, we've gotten those little tidbits before
Yep.
where it's just one little thing. So,
Interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed that. Hmm.
like I said, I had good sound and everything else, so I was picking apart those little details too on top of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the trailer itself, their ship has three fins, and then in the post-credit scene, it had four.
Hmm.
So that's why I was thinking maybe this is, you know, the other Fantastic Four.
Well, and look, I mean, with Deadpool and Wolverine, they've shown that these things are possible.
Right.
Maybe we'll get the guys from the old Fantastic Four movies. And you know what? I know those movies are not amazing, but I liked them at the time. I liked them when they were new. They're fun, and
I
you
like the
know,
Surfer a hell of a lot better.
I'll throw them on from time to time just for funsies.
Right.
And I have a real fond memory of being at the drive-in and seeing the first one. I was on a date, and I have a really fond memory of
Right.
being at the drive-in, and it was the scene like they're in space, and I think they're about to get hit with all the is it gamma, right?
Yeah.
And I remember like they're in space, and you see this the star field and all that, and then
Right.
behind the screen, we're at a drive-in. I'm seeing like the star field it's like the movie screen was the whole sky. You know what I mean? Like it was.
Right.
I remember that so vividly. I don't really know why, but yeah, I have a fondness of that movie for sure, the original one.
Oh, yeah. It's.
Not that it's good, like super good or anything by any
I mean,
standard, but
but at the time,
it was
honestly,
fun. I didn't
we
mind it.
had, yeah.
I like the Roger Corman version if you can find
If
it.
you find it, yeah.
Yep, I had
And
that
we
on my
do,
Zune for years.
yeah, and we don't talk about the newer version.
It would work as a non-Marvel thing, but as a representation of those characters as we know them, it
Yeah,
seems
it
like a bit
was
of a failure.
a bit
Yeah.
kind of like the Hindenburg was a bit of a failure.
Not every aspect of the Hindenburg worked. That's just the way it is.
Like uh everything.
Maybe. Chris,
So
I don't have anything else.
I'm that's it for me too. So like I said, next week we're gonna talk finale of Andor.
Yes.
Gonna get a little casting action, which we haven't done in a while.
I wouldn't mind getting some action right now.
Right, well, hey, you got a beer in hand,
Damn right.
so maybe a few other surprises. But yeah, that's it for me too. So
Join us in the Discord, please.
yes,
If you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up or whatever the hell that is. Subscribe.
right,
If you're listening on Spotify, give us the best rating you possibly can. We love
absolutely.
that. We
Same way
love
with
it.
you. If you're watching us on YouTube, do the same. If you
Yes.
have any ninja movies you want us to watch, give
Yeah.
us some of that.
Please delight me. I need this.
Yes. So, but I
Awesome.
guess ne 2 weeks. I know. It's been a long day, damn it.
Yes, yes, yes. We'll
So,
talk to you soon, everybody.
all right. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Bye.